everybody. It's John Talks Indian Cinema, and I am the namesake, John, your Indian Cine-MANIAC, back with another 10-ish minute review. Okay, you guys, a lot of you have been trying to get me to watch more Sunny Deol films. Cully, you know I'm talking to you. So I watched one while I was traveling. And the film I'm going to review was recommended first. Well, yeah, I think it was first, although Cully might have recommended this a while ago. But it was recommended by Rakesh Srivastava, IQRG. I'm going to call you Rakesh, okay? And Cully saying 3378. Big Sunny Deol fan. The film I am going to review today is Ghatak Lethal from 1996. Now, before I do this review, and before you hate on me, you have to know something. If you watch this channel, then you know my feeling on 1990s Indian cinema. Not a huge fan. I don't like the aesthetic. I don't like the sound. And some of the humor is a little too slapsticky, okay? Now, I'm just letting you know up front. There's been a few that I've liked, but most of them I've been lukewarm on, okay? So I'm just setting that up for you. Okay, so this film was directed by Rajkumar Santoshi, who directed two films that I really like, Khakee and Ghayal, which Cully Singh recommended that one too. That was another Sunny Deol film. It stars Sunny Deol, who I've seen in said movie, Ghayal. I've also seen him in Chup and Blank. I've seen older Sunny Deol. Also, Meenakshi Sheshadri. Meenakshi Sheshadri, who in 1981 was Miss India. And this was her last film, and she was quite beautiful. Danny Denzongpa, who was in Baby and Enthiran. Amrish Puri, who was in Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Gandhi and Ghayal, played the bad guy in Ghayal. And Mukesh Rishi, who was in Sarafrosh. Now, this film was written for Kamal Hassan, who I don't know why he ended up not doing it, but thank God for all us Sunny Deol fans. And I know there's a lot of you. Amrish Puri, who plays Sunny Deol's father, well, I think it's not his real father. I think he kind of took him on. But he won the Filmfare Best Supporting Actor Award. And I think this was one of the first times he played a positive role model. And it opens up right away with, well, let's get to the story. The story is about a young man, Sunny Deol's character, Kashi, who, with his ailing father, goes to, I think they go to Mumbai, yeah, for treatment for his throat. And when he goes to this village, there's a gangster, a warlord, I don't know what you'd call him, kind of running the place. And he's a real bad guy. And through a series of events, Kashi ends up on the wrong side of this bad guy. And there's cage fighting, and there's revenge, and there's murders. And it's how Kashi finds the strength to defeat this bad guy and all his thugs. I think it's his brothers, the bad guy's brothers. I think that's who it was. And there's a lot of action in this. Now, okay, so the story, I mean, it's not an original story. Magnificent Seven, any scene where some guy comes into, the Clint Eastwood spaghetti westerns, it reminded me of that too. A guy comes to town and it's run by the bad guys and he kind of defeats them all. So I'll give the story a 2. I mean, nothing original. Again, that's not a knock on the story. It's just one you've seen a bunch of different times. As far as the performances go, he's got he's not like a Shah Rukh Khan, a lot of over the top stuff. He is I think I think he's a really good actor, but obviously his bread and butter is action, and he was jacked in this film, and he did his own stunts. And I actually thought all the performances were very good. In fact, I would say, the father and the bad guy probably had the most fun with their roles. Where Sonny's character starts off kind of innocently, and as things start to happen, his anger starts building and building till he kind of blows a gasket. I mean, there's a scene right out of Ben-Hur where he's got the thing across his back and he's chained to it and he's walking through the center of town. And then as his father's getting knocked around, he snaps it and he gets his revenge. So the performances were pretty solid. I'll give it a 4. The music, and there was a lot of music. Like the first song, his entrance, they were chanting when you see him for the first time. And then the second song is a love song, but it's at this area where there's all kinds of palm trees, and he's flirting with the girl, Pooja, who is quite lovely and a very good dancer. Third song is at a nightclub with all these exotic dancers, looking like kind of belly dancers almost, right? And then all of a sudden he looks up and it's the girl that he really likes, his girlfriend. Um, oh, did I say Pooja? I'm sorry. Boy, I'm getting my movies mixed up. Meenakshi, who plays Gauri, that's the character's name. She was beautiful, but she's the one who's dancing, and all of a sudden now his eyes are watering because the woman he loves is up there dancing provocatively. Um, that was the third song. Um, and then what was there? I think there was more songs. I actually thought the songs were pretty good. The numbers were well done. But again, my problem with these '90s films, everything sounds high pitched. So when you hear their voices, it's always kind of high pitched to me. And it's not very good sound quality. And I mean, that's not the fault of the film. That's just the way they did it. What it reminds me of, and you guys have said this to me before, like films filmed in the '90s almost look like the '70s to me. And there were some dance numbers in here. I think it was this one, right? Uh, where oh, I didn't even mention this. A friendly, this is how it was put in the credits. A friendly appearance by Amitabh Bachchan with his jet black hair getting into a car signing autographs. I thought that was pretty cool. Um, but it had a very that it's a '90s look that I'm just not crazy about. But so I'm gonna give the music. They did a big dance number in front of a waterfall with all female dancers, and they kept changing the looks of everybody. Um, what else? Dead. Oh, excuse me, my goodness. At one point, he kills one of the brothers, and the bad guy brings him back to their mansion, whatever, and he sits him in a chair. He's dead, and then burns him alive. One guy gets run over. So the music was a 3 for me. Now here's where it gets tricky on the verdict, and I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the stuff in the film. But uh, for me, I felt like the first 45 minutes to an hour, nothing was happening. I mean, like really nothing. And I was like, what have they gotten me into? There's one fight scene in the beginning where he takes down some thugs. He's wearing a white shirt and no, excuse me, that's the guy who gets killed that happens to. Um, but it just took a while. Once you got past that opening scene where the worker gets killed by the warlord, whatever, it just nothing seems to be happening, right? Like I'm expecting the way it was described, like a lot of action, right? Nonstop action. It was not like that. Now, once the action happened, I thought it was great. I really did. I mean, he's good. He can, he's a big guy and he moves well. So I really liked the the second half of the movie better than the first half because there was a lot more happening. So in that regard, I guess I'll give it a 3. I am curious about Sunny Deol because looking at him in these movies that I'm watching in the 90s and looking at him in more recent films where he's a lot older, but almost to me, he's a much better actor now. Now maybe he's a character actor now, right? But he's still, he's still a big guy like that trailer that I watched him do. I mean, he looks amazing in that. So I have to I got to look more stuff from him. Maybe from the 90s, but also more current because I do like him. And people seem to, I mean, everybody loves Sunny Deol, and I kind of get that. So I guess I'll give the movie a 3. Yeah. Um, but there's okay, so here like the thing the thing I didn't like the bad guy was dressed up like it looked to me like a Chinese warlord, and he had this big furry hat on the whole film till the end, and then when he takes that off, he's got this horrible wig on. That was obviously a wig, you know. Um, but it was also, if you ever seen the film High Noon with Gary Cooper, great Western, one of the best Westerns of all time. It's about a sheriff, a group of guys are coming to kill him, and he's got to fight them alone because the entire town won't help him. So for most of the movie, that's what this was. Every time he got in a scrap with these bad guys, the village would just be up in their balconies looking down. No one would help anybody. So it was one man against everybody. So I did kind of like that callback to High Noon. Any callback to High Noon is okay for me. But it's a rough thing. The fight scenes, he gets tortured in jail. But he's got a strong dignity to him till he finally loses it. And again, the guy who played his father, Amrish Puri, he's very funny the first like 30 minutes, and then as his throat cancer gets worse and worse and worse, it gets much more serious till he eventually dies. Um, but it was I'm trying to think if there's anything else that really stood out for me. Like I said, I like the fight scenes a lot. Pretends his daughter's killed. Now he's in a big dance and a big henchman. Nah. Yeah, so that's it. I mean, that's what I know you guys love that film, and I could certainly understand that if you're a Sunny Deol fan, why you would love this film. Again, my problem is it's the 90s aesthetic. I don't know. There's something about it. But I did, like I said, I enjoyed the second half much more than the first half. So I hope you're not mad at me. I hope I did just like I always tell you, I got to be honest, right? Even when my super fans want me to watch something, I got to be honest. So that's my review of Ghatak Lethal. I know Cully, there's some other films that Cully have mentioned to me that he wants me to watch. So of Sunny Deol. So I'm gonna have to take a look at that. Okay. Let me know what you think in the comments section. If you're mad at me, or if you agree with me, or maybe you think I should stop watching Indian films. I hope you don't. I hope you don't. But if you are new to the channel, please do me a favor, subscribe, hit the notification button, hit the like button, and what's really important, share the video, because the algorithm will not push this out on YouTube till I get to 1,000 subscribers, and it's definitely slowed down. Not your fault, probably mine. Maybe I'm not putting out good content. I don't know. I got to hit that one thing. Like a couple of them really went viral, so hopefully I can get some things going, and we can keep plug along. But I'm pumping out a lot of content. And I love it, and I love the back and forth with you guys, and I love getting new subscribers. You always get notified when you get a new subscriber. I really like that too. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you soon on John Talks Indian Cinema, with another 10ish minute reaction review or a 10ish minute trailer reaction. Okay, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching, everybody.
हर दिल की अपनी ताल है, अपना ही एक राग है। हर दिल की अपनी धड़कने, अपनी ही एक आग है। जज्बात पिघले पिघले